Hey everybody, welcome to our live chat. It is the last one of the day, but we come to you 5 times a day, Monday through Thursday. We're here at 1, 3, and 5. We just changed to our fall hours. And then on Fridays, we are here for you at 9 and 11. So we give you plenty of opportunities to jump on in and ask questions. Hey, Candy, how are you? And we talk about airbrushing, color cosmetics, skincare, anything and everything. Seriously, anything and everything. Anything luminous, we are going to talk about it. So if there's a product you want to see, or maybe you need to know a color or how to apply something, we're going to show you that. So hey Teresa, how are you? Let's go and look at this is one of our starter kits. We always like to go over the starter kit because we know that a lot of people are interested in them and interested in purchasing Luminous. So we show you the starter kit so you know what to expect. This is the Icon. We also have the Icon Pro and the Legend, and they're all operated just about the same. But the Pro is going to have 2 speeds, but they all come with makeup. So if think of this starter kit as your practice kit, we really want you to get in there and get working with it. We give you the 2 bottles of foundation and then a bottle of Love and Blush. And then when you get it, you're going to get it out and plug it in. It all comes put together. The only thing you have to do is plug it in. So as soon as you turn it on, there's air. So what the air is telling you is where the makeup's going to go. So you want to keep it about 4 finger widths away, keep the stylus moving, and guess what? This is practicing. Moving that around your face, just feeling that air, that is practicing. And then when you're ready, you're going to put water in here and then start pulling back on the trigger. And you're going to pull back very light on the trigger. So practicing is with the air and the water, and then you can start putting foundation in there. You could spray a piece of paper and to see what it's going to look like going on. Spraying a piece of paper or a tissue or a paper towel lets you see if you're spraying too much, if you're too close, things like that. So it's a great way of figuring some things out. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. Teresa, welcome. We are so excited you are here. Do you airbrush now, or are you thinking about airbrushing? Let us know the scoop. Hello, Christina. Good to see you. Gail, hello. Hello, Michelle. Good to see you guys too. So if you see me saying hello to somebody who's not here, it's not just a vision in my head. We have Facebook and YouTube going at the same time. So we are going to concentrate today on airbrushing, obviously. But so I did my eyes in the 3 o'clock. This lash is coming off. So I am taking them off and I'm going to reapply them. It was just, there's always those edges that come out. So right now, I'm holding the lash very delicately and pulling the glue off. Anytime you wear the lashes, you're going to take them off and remove the glue, and then you can store them in the container that we give you. It's a nice little case. Teresa is thinking about it. I love it. You'll love it. I promise. The reason why we go over the starter kit and the reason why we're on 5 times a day is so you learn. So you can, all your questions, anything you have about any hesitation about Luminous, we like to just throw it all out there. And if you do have any questions, we want you to ask. I promise you're not going to ask me anything that hasn't been asked before. We're very upfront that there is a learning curve. And so just know that going in. Most people, hey, you're not going to be the expert the very first time you use it, but that's okay. The more you have it in your hand, the more you're going to learn. Even if you're messing up, I'm like, I have a hair right there too. Even if you're messing up, you're still learning, right? This is one scenario where we do learn from our mistakes. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Jeannie says, best makeup system ever. Christina loves her Luminous. All right, so the one thing, so the difference is, so if, Teresa, if you saw like our infomercial and that started the wheels turning about, oh, do I want this? Is it real? Does it do exactly what it, you know, says it's going to do? It does. So if you get it home and you're using it and it's not doing that, just know that we need to tweak something you're doing. If I could go home with every single person that bought a system and teach them how to do it, this is the next best thing, you'll love it. 100%. I know you'll love it, because I can tell you the steps on how, you know, everybody has different definitions of makeup. Some people like natural, medium, full coverage. So, you know, we have our drama queens, we have our natural, you know, there's a whole slew of people that like makeup different ways. And so learning the basics of airbrushing, learning the distance, learning the movement, the pulling back of the triggers, what you really want to work on. Once you get that down, everything else is a cakewalk. Okay. Jeannie says best makeup system and best customer service. That is so true. Oh, Cheryl said, I had one of the Luminous airbrush systems. It messed up. I just love it. The makeup stays on so long. Cover so great. I'm going to get another one. Cheryl, I don't know how long it's been. You know, keep in mind, guys, we do have a 1-year warranty on our system. So make sure you check that out too. Michelle says she's had her system for 10 years. 10 months, and I will never go back to regular foundation. Amen, sister. Candy on YouTube said that she's in love with it too. Hello, Veronica. Good to see you. All right. So right now what I did is I just put in some CC concealer, and I'm going to use this underneath my eyes to cover up the dark circles, to cover up the redness in my nose, the imperfections, the splotchiness. Now, when I do it, you always want to keep your stylus straight. But when I'm doing it right underneath my eye, I kind of angle it down just a little bit so that the air is not blowing directly at my eye. It's just going to be blowing down a little bit. But guys, this is so precise. Obviously, I have full makeup, you know, full eyeshadow on, but you'll notice that it doesn't get in my eye. It doesn't get on the lashes. It's not going to get on the makeup. It only goes where I point it. You can already see it starting to work. "10 to 12 hours later, still looks great." Yes. Oh, Cheryl. Also, no, guys. So, Cheryl, I hate to tell you this now that you threw it away. You can buy like just the compressor or just a hose or the stylus. I always recommend having a backup stylus because my whole thing is, chances are I'm waiting till the last minute to get ready because mama likes to sleep. And so I'll go in, you know, if I'm working on something and maybe I didn't clean my stylus from the night before or the day before, if it sputters or whatever, I can put it aside, get the new one, and then keep going and then deal with it later when I have more time. And then if something did happen and you needed to send in your stylus, you have a backup, and that way you don't have to worry. Like without that stylus, you can't airbrush. And so having that backup is really nice in case you do have to send something in. All right. Heather said, I absolutely love my system. Wouldn't trade it for the world. I love hearing that. I love it. All right. I'm going to get my natural blush, and I'll go ahead and get Plum. Plum is one of our stronger blushes, but mixing it with natural blush, anything mixed with natural is beautiful, flat out. The natural blush is a little bit, has a little bit of a shine to it. but it just looks so amazing. Jeannie gave us the mixture of tulip and natural, and then we started mixing natural with everything, and I'm out of tulip. So that's why I'm going for plum. Veronica said, me too. Oh, I love hearing that. All right, so now I'm going in with the blush. I only did my concealer, the CC concealer. I'm going in with blush. Our blush is a hot, it's a lot of pigment, flat out, a lot of pigment. So once it's on, it does bloom. It blooms a little. So mixing it, whether it's the natural blush or the foundation or Love, you can even, like earlier today, I mixed a drop of the foundation in with it to soften it a little bit. Because a lot of people will say, oh, I can't get the blush down. Well, if you mix something with it, it does help a little bit. And doing it first is easier, because if you do get blush happy, then doing the foundation, once I'm now putting on the foundation, it makes it a little bit easier because it'll blend. Let me find my foundation. All right. Now, shaking I'm using the Silk 4-in-1. And then in between, I don't have to clean in between, but I'm blowing everything out. This is when you pull back all the way, and I'm blowing back or blowing out all the product that was left in there, if there's any left over. Keep in mind, you are using drops at a time. So you're using, 10 times less makeup, as long as you're doing it correctly and barely spraying. I can do a full face with about 5 to 8 drops. Because I did the CC concealer, that puts me ahead of the game on coverage. So when I get to my foundation, this is one that I can probably do about 5 drops because I already have some coverage going. Go down my nose. And I love to make one pass and then stop and look and say, okay, where else do I need my coverage? Where else? And that's actually pretty good. So I don't need any more coverage right now. I have my concealer. I have my blush. I have my foundation. And so at this point, and this is the other thing I love about Luminous, is that it's not all or nothing when it comes to airbrushing. So at this point, if I wanted to airbrush contour or something like that, I can do that. Or I can do traditional as well. So I'm mixing all of them. I'm an equal opportunist when it comes to contouring. I like all the shades because I like that mixture of warmth where I'm not getting anything that's too orange or too ashy or anything like that. You can get all the colors, and it's a great even color. And then I'm going to go ahead and go back with my Lion King because I love it. And I'm going to add, I want kind of a fluffier brush. Let's try this one. So this is the Circle of Life. Yes, Marisol, you can wear moisturizer before concealer. So a couple of things. We have an M1 primer or porcelain, and it's an airbrush moisturizer you can put on beforehand. We also have the SPF 30, but you can, if you're like, no, Heather, I have this moisturizer I've been using forever and I love it and I swear by it. You can put that on for sure, but make sure it's oil-free. You want an oil-free moisturizer. You can put that on and then use our airbrush, but our airbrush is water-based. And so, of course, what does oil and water do? It doesn't go together. So just make sure of that. Get my little shine on. Do a little bit on my, oh, I love this. So beautiful. All right. So we have almost everything done. Trying to put this stuff up so I don't lose it. But what's missing? My eyelash. So I have my eyelash down here. Now I'm just using Duo glue. I'm going to put my glue out. And then using tweezers, because it's already ready. I mean, I've already cut it. What I did last hour when I put these on, I did line my eye first. Trying to go all the way on the inside. So I did line the eye first. And if you're new to putting eyelashes on, this is something you can do beforehand because there's a couple of reasons why. It gives you something to shoot for when placing the lash, because you're going to place that lash right at the lash line, like boop, right there. And so you want to, I'm going for where I just lined my eyes. And then after it dries, you can go back and line again. I'm blowing on the glue I just put on the lash. I am going to put a little bit extra on the ends since that's what popped up earlier. I might pass out. Just kidding. I'll go ahead and recurl because I'm going to let that dry. Because remember also when putting on lash that you do want it to get tacky. You want the glue to dry a bit. If it's too wet, it'll just slide right out all over the place. So when I place it, I want some tackiness to it, meaning it's going to stick, and then I can move it if I need to, but I need to have that give or that stickiness to it. So I'm taking my mirror magnification side, looking down, up and over my lash. You can tell that it's not stuck, not in place yet. Not in a hurry, not freaking out about it. It's okay. I can go in. I'm going to place this side down first because I do want to make sure that this is all the way to the end. And so it is lifting a little bit, so I'm not having that tackiness. So what I'll do is I'll go in and hold it there for just a couple of seconds, and now it's okay. Now I'll go in and grab this part and stick that right there. Now, just to make sure, see, this bad boy's lifting again. I'll go in, hold that right there. Hold on, Tracy. I'm going to read your comment in just a minute, baby. So I'm just making sure, I'm going back to make sure that those ends are on. So here's the great thing about the airbrush. If I needed to dry it, I'm just using the air. Remember with the airbrush, nothing is being released until you pull back on the trigger. So I can use the air to dry the eyelash. And bam, it's dry. So I'll let that, it probably needs to dry a little bit more. The great thing about, like, I'm using the Duo glue, once it dries, it'll dry black, and then I can reline over that if I need to. Let's see, Tracy. Hey, Heather, I have this aloe and cucumber hydro. Oh my gosh, I bet that feels amazing. An aloe and cucumber hydrating facial mist. Ooh, that's very, very, very nice sounding. The other day, I shared this on Facebook, but the other day I made dinner. And so we're having chicken, and then I did zucchini, and I cut them up in little circles, and She had something else. But so my daughter gets to the table and she goes, Mom, how much chicken do I have to eat? I'm like, Lily, you have to eat all of it. And then she's like, well, how many of those that you put on your eyes do I have to eat? She thought they were the cucumbers that you put on your eyes. I thought that was so funny. Oh, Lord, the craziness. Christina asked, do you need to put mascara on before the lashes? So yes and no. So there's two ways of doing it. Yes, a lot of people will put mascara on beforehand, like a little coat. You would curl the lash, then put mascara on, and then put the lash on. If I wear these on the daily, like if I'm just wearing them, chances are I'm not even going to put mascara on. If I'm just wearing them, I won't even bother, because sometimes it's easier for me to put lashes on than it is for me to sit there and put the amount of mascara that I like. And so sometimes I don't. But if I were, I sometimes will even do it now, and where it just tints the lashes that you can see, or I'll just put it at the bottom. So again, it's more of what you prefer. So a lot of people find it easier to do it before because they just want a little bit to tint the lash and then put the fake lash on. But again, it's whatever you want to do. So there you go. All right, guys, we are done for the day. I hope everybody is having a great Tuesday, and we will be back tomorrow bright and early. We will be here. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you here tomorrow. Bye for now.